stomach now that I'm so full. Yeah. So, but what I really wanted to say was I wanted to talk a little bit about the beginning. Since I'm the oldest, I was the first one born, and I knew how these two people were when they were younger than Chris is now. And I know how they got started, and the goodness that you see in these people has always been that way. And it began for me when I was just a young boy and little bitty guy. And I first noticed the scars on the insides of my mom's elbows and the scars on my dad's legs. And I questioned them because I knew something terrible must have happened to them when they were young. And they just generally told me that they both were involved in bad car accidents. My mom went over by a bread truck basically, and Dad was hit and had both of his legs broken completely in half when he was just a young man. They didn't know if either one of them would live through it. They didn't know if Dad would ever walk again. They didn't know if Mom would make it at all at one point, because she was in really bad shape. When these two people met each other and brought this marriage together, somehow that was a uniting force with them, because this common bond that they had of having gone through something that most of us are lucky enough to never have to go through in our youth. And they not only survived it, but just like they've done in their whole lives, they took it on as a challenge. And they made their lives better for it. And then, as a young boy, we lived in an intersection where there were terrible accidents and many people injured. This happened on a weekly basis. These two people were the first ones out there every time, and they were always there to help. And this wasn't anyone they knew. These were people they had never met. And yet they were there every time. I remember them calling the hospital the next day to see if the people were okay. This is back in the days when they didn't have seat belts. Accidents were bad. People tended to go through windshields and things like that. So it was really rough. And these people dealt with that. And you know, as I got older, I never really thought about it that much then. But when I think about it now, how much of a reminder that must have been of what happened to them as young people themselves. And how that they had that sense of community and were able to help others in the way that they were helped and made it through their own youth to grow up and be the people that they are. And I can't say enough, really, for how much I appreciate their consideration in that way, and the way they treated people, because that was such an example to me that they set that it was just a very great example of what love is really all about, and what life is really all about, and the respect for human life. And they worked on that intersection, helping people for years, trying to get something done. And finally, these two people sat down at their kitchen table one night and wrote up a petition, because they couldn't get the city to do anything, to put up any stop signs to stop this carnage that was going on. And when they did, we walked the neighborhood. They got everyone to sign this petition. They ended up finally getting the mayor, the city commissioner, everybody out to this intersection. And before we ended up leaving that place, there were 4 stop signs at that intersection. And there weren't any more accidents. Because these people, they got involved. They were never afraid. No matter who you were, they would help. So they're just the kind of people that they are. And gosh, am I ever proud to have them as parents. I've always felt like I'm the luckiest person in the world. one real simple reason why, right here. That's why I'm the luckiest person in the world. I could go on and get a lot longer, but I know that there's something I think that the rest of them would like to say about things growing up in the situation that we did, because it was unique, very unique. They're very special people. They don't ask for greatness, but it's there.
That's my sister.
Well, the one thing I want to say is that it wasn't until I was an adult and got to know other people in other families that I realized how unique our family was. We never hit each other. We never hit each other. You know, we would do that. Mom is looking at me thing, but we didn't hit each other. And to be perfectly honest, Mom and Dad didn't do much spanking either. So that the house was very peaceful compared to a lot of the households that I come to realize as an adult that most families grew up in. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate the example that they gave us for how to deal with problems and anger without having to resort to violence.
And we all get this from Mom. Well, we have lots of cake, guys.
Lots of cake. Amen.
Start squinting. They do have beautiful pants.
I just got sad.
They
Hey, you can get each other.
Like Mandy?
Interlock your elbows.
Find it real quick.
How about push your part to the camera? Mandy's getting my camera. He wants a drink.
Yeah.
Did you get one, hon? They weren't looking. Did you take it? They know. Toast to the bride and groom. It's not alcohol. I cleared it. If it's alcohol free.
Don't lean on the table.
Where's the table? There you go.
It'd be a disaster. Sarah, we got to cake the scarf. It falls down straight.
Very good.
Yeah, I've been waiting all day for that cake.
I know.